comes great responsibility.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?
Yes.
All right then. So apparently stuff and things happened. Apparently a mostly peaceful protest sacked the capital of the United States of America for a short period of time, and then the standard electoral process ended up continuing, and we have President-elect Joseph Biden. Yes, this was a thing. And I do personally believe, in my opinion, we are memeing ourselves into oblivion. Why? Nobody trusts each other. Okay, some people trust people, but do we trust them because that's what we actually believe, or do we trust them because, well, that's what a lot of people are saying? And this is what our people that we know and trust, our folks within our community, are saying about one another. And guess what? A lot of these folks, if you follow the paths, our actual human connections with one another and all the experiences we've had, I'm pretty sure what they say, like 4 degrees of separation between everybody in the world. Yes, that means for the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Apparently we have 4 degrees of separation, or in classical internet reference, Kevin Bacon. So it's like 4.2, something like that. Again, this is my opinion here. Yes, I see everybody there in the chats, on the internets and everything. But at this point, if we're going to be living like a Shakespearean novel and everything, and we're going to act different around different people, you know what? Let's actually cut across it. I realize that's not everybody, but it seems, depending on who we're around, what group we're with. Why? I totally have done this before in my own life, and I still do to an extent as well. I generally try to kind of blur the lines a little bit personally. What the heck do I do? It's like, all right, I just generally moderate the level of profanity that I use in different settings. But if we're just going to call everybody evil, you're going to say there's a bunch of Nazis over there, a bunch of commies over there and everything. If we're literally going to hate on each other like that, that's why I'm like, all right, I support HR 1337. That's right, the re-legalization of dueling in these United States of America. Even Mr. Poole and the Timcast IRL, which apparently lost their chat function because YouTube did not have the resources to moderate 100,000 people apparently saying some not so very nice things and maybe getting everyone else riled up. Is that a restriction on speech? You bet it is. Why the hell are they doing that? Well, the United States Capitol was taken. Well, you can argue over why the heck that was. Why weren't there the resources out there? We've seen other people be not that happy. Yeah, we watched the church burn. That was a thing. You gotta call out violence, and people burning shit to the ground all the time. Why? Because I'm a terrible human being, and I've done some terrible things as well. You gotta call it out. It doesn't matter if folks are on your side or not. Yes, did there seem to be many things burned yesterday? Not that I really know of. I heard maybe some cars or something like that. Well, then again, I also live in Boston. I remember when we were in championships and stuff. I'm pretty sure shit actually burned then too. Why do people do that? Yeah, there's always going to be a few bad apples that ruin the bunch. Now, this is why I also expressed universal truth number 7. What is universal truth number 7? It is something that I said a while ago. It's the Uncle Ben principle. It's the principle that, yeah, with great power comes a greater responsibility. Yeah, I realize I probably took the greater off, but if you're the president of these United States, here's the thing. I watch a lot of folks, they're even smaller channels than mine. They don't necessarily even have the reach. Some would argue my reach isn't that much. I personally think like 600 or so people, which is very interesting because whether it's YouTube or Facebook, these things kind of seem to mirror each other. I don't know. I just kind of take notice of this. But you see it, it's like, all right, well, why don't we actually talk to people straight, regardless of where we are. Why? Because it seems like we're always putting on masks. We're always acting like different people. Now, again, not everybody, but this is the complaint that I hear. It's like, well, we can't talk to these people. We can't talk to these people. Yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I broadcast this onto multiple platforms. Do I need to go around and say who I am? Here's the thing.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
Exactly. That's the thing. It shouldn't matter on the person. It should matter about what the ideas they have are, what they're trying to promote. I don't care where a good idea comes from. That's universal truth number 4. But this is the thing. Who cares? If we want to maximize things, if we want to maximize opportunity for every single individual, wouldn't we want to know the truth? Isn't that what we all want? Because if you don't want the truth, that means you want something else. And that means you may be deceiving us. The big thing is just be straight with folks. Just be honest. This is a big complaint. Everybody's lying and everything like that. And as anybody could see for that potential thumbnail right up there and everything, yeah, those were folks actually climbing the Capitol wall. Here's the thing. You watch this happen in other countries. You're like, oh, well, they're staging a coup. This was also during the counting of the electoral votes to certify the election, or excuse me, to officially have President-elect Joe Biden. Yeah, if you see that anywhere else, I'm pretty sure most of us could be like, yeah, that country's trying to get overthrown. I don't know, that sounds like terrorism. If you're attacking a government building, I don't care where it is. And this is why you call out violence wherever the hell it is. Why? Oh, people are attacking a courthouse. They're attacking police. Yeah, you call that out. I know I have a bunch of friends that seem to be cheering it on. I'm looking through my feed and stuff. It's like, yeah, burn, burn. It's like, okay, what happens when they come for you? What happens when they're burning your place down and you were cheering this on? You were fanning the flames. You were throwing the gasoline on the fire. Feels good. It feels good. And I'm seeing folks on the other side of these things saying it feels good. Apparently, there was a poll somewhere on the internet. It was like 45% of Republicans are like, yeah, I actually kind of like that. It's called Schadenfreude. It's a word the Germans invented. Now, as I'm blinking in our resistance, yes, the internet is a wonderful thing. There are a lot of people online. Thank you, America. These United States citizens. Okay, I should probably stop stuttering and actually get to the point here. As far as this goes, we're social media. We can easily just hide behind an avatar and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, it seems like our courage score goes up by about 87 points. I don't know. Why is that? Well, don't get me wrong. As a scaly, I love being a Dargan. I can hide here and do all these other things and everything. But at this point, it's like, we're just going to come on here and rant and try to take the glasses off again and try to seem all this serious and everything. But at this point, it's like, we got to be straight with each other. Because if we're going to put on masks, it's like, okay, well, how about we can communicate around to multiple different groups and everything? Why do I say this? It's like, all right, I've had conversations with commies. I've had conversations with fascists. And it's like, all right, I can treat these people like human beings. I can strongly disagree with their ideas, and you call them for any type of violence. Oh, hell no. However, the thing is, it's like, all right, it can be me. I could be this. I could be that. It's like, my thing is, it shouldn't matter. But for some reason, we care. Even the president of these United States. When you start referring to yourself in the third person, it's like, the president, your president, the Donald and everything. With all due respect, Mr. President, that's all right if you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson and everything, but you're the president of these United States. This is the point we're at. You know what? Okay. I will wear a mask. I will wear these glasses. Why do I wear these glasses? Because very often I partake of some cannabis. I don't want to see these eyes and everything. And I also have crazy eyes, intense, because I'm probably a psychopath. But at the same time, we must acknowledge.
No,
I swear I can get it to work.
no one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Exactly. We seem to assume all these different personas. And yes, I see you all there in the chat, but this is going all out to multiple platforms. And by multiple, I mean two. Why? Because that is a number, that is the peace sign. And my apologies, at some point, that's probably racist or bigoted. Now, with everything that's going on, I'm like, all right, how do we solve this? What is the thing? Because as Sam Harris would say very often, if there's a lack of information, maybe somebody doesn't have the whole picture. But if somebody's already made up their mind, according to some research, you get this thing called oxytocin. So if you've already made up your mind on something and someone says something you don't like and you have any reason to dislike them, they are now in the out group. So anything you say about that, you ain't going to feel good. Whereas if you say not so nice things and you're saying all the things that your group wants to hear, guess what? You're getting that oxytocin. You're getting that love drug, which is actually the tribalism drug, which means, yeah, we're all kind of grooving together. We kind of get this community thing happening and everything. But you want to know what that leads to, of course?
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what the heck is Laplace's demon? Laplace's demon is apparently some mythical demon, according to some dude man called Laplace or something, where it's like, all right, here's this mystical being, and if it could measure every single particle in the universe, it could know what's happening. Those of us of a more religious nature, yeah, we call that God. I realize I totally just committed blasphemy.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔의 여유를 아는 품격.
My apologies to the Abrahamic religions. I'm sorry for my blasphemy. Now, basically, if we actually know what's going on, if you actually understood another person's situation, you might not agree with the decision, but at least you get the gist of where they're coming from. Why do I say that? Because that's what Naruto would do. Believe it. Yes, I am referencing anime because I'm a total weeb who don't like a little bit of anime and some dancing squirrels. Oh, that's the short clip. Now, again, these things happen. Yes, I see you all there. It's all right. We heart you all. For some reason, looking like that, it kind of creeps me out. And I'm not just talking about melding into the background because my lighting is terrible. How do we fix this? We got to be real with one another. And unfortunately, at this point, the way I see it is, I'm pro legalizing dueling. Why? One, it adds entropy into the system, which any system under pressure, that tends to alleviate. Because even black holes apparently shoot out some Hawking radiation or something like that. He was a very smart dude. I think I still have a book somewhere. It's all right, Dave. I'll get it back to you at some point. Now, as far as this goes, how would you do that? Well, before you didn't know. You only went by what somebody wrote in a letter or something that we call primary resources there. What's a primary resource? It's whatever something that we had about at the time, like a letter, a book, a diary, somebody that was there. And what we know from the modern internet is that nobody would ever lie or exaggerate about anything. Now, keeping that in mind, as far as completely insulting and I did it again, didn't I?
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔의 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자.
My apologies to the academic history community. I realize I hated on basically just everything you just said and may have questioned everything, but I believe that was something about EA Sports or something. or Sony. Question everything. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Now, technically, we have the way to do this. Why do I say this? Because, yeah, fraud, corruption, it ruins it for everybody. And if we have a world where if we're making enough money, if we have more than enough food that we happen to throw out and everything, yes, I understand logistics is another aspect of it. I lift things up and put them all day down all day. Now, if that's a thing, how the heck do we address it? Well, we have the internet now. We have the knowledge. And it seems that we are moving towards a verified internet. And why do I say fraud's a thing? Yeah. Remember that whole Obama phone program? My opinion, totally full of fraud, or at least based upon my one experience of an individual that happened to have one, and then he pulled out through a drawer and had like 7 more there. And it's and all these different minutes, this and that. I'm like, couldn't we have had a more affordable program that only utilized one device and everything? That seems like a waste because you're talking about other people that could have had this and that. Yes, we're going into telecommunications and profits and how certain network architecture, it's become very good at things. It's all right. I was in telecom. Shh. Totally biased, but it's good money. They pay you very well. When I speak lowly, that means I don't really want to acknowledge that I'm totally full of sin. Now,
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?
Yes.
hey, you gotta fit the bill here. Yes, I see you all in the chat. Yes, I see you all. But again, we are broadcasting on multiple platforms because we should be consistent. We should be who we are. We should be able to have a conversation with our fellow human being and not feel like, oh, I'm going to get offended and challenge you to a duel. So, since, again, it is highly easy to hide behind an avatar and everything, there ain't nothing wrong with this because we know there are many, many brave, righteous justice warriors out there. People that are fighting for a cause, that are standing for something, maybe usually against something, because it's very easy to stand for things that everyone else is around. Why? Because you have a group. And as we know from groups, they let you do amazing things, such as
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
yes, I totally believe in utilizing the power of squirrels and K-pop to the maximum advantage available. Yes, I see everyone down there. I see stuff and things happening. Yes, birds are people too, and especially if they fart fireballs. Now, okay, all I know is the Patriot Act is the law of the land. In terms of service or a thing, yes, any of these companies, they're going to abide by all state and federal regulations. Now, without spelling it out, yeah, that means essentially everybody, just theoretically, they know who we are. And again,
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
wrong
It
clip.
doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
All I'm saying is, you know what? If somebody happens to be on a benefit or something happens to a little old lady down the street in your community, you ain't willing to kind of help out, have her fix her roof, kind of get her on her feet. Because I've seen this happen. I've seen little people upon ruin. And individuals have reached out. And people within the communities have helped other people. People have been taken in. And during a time of plague, during a time of strife, during a time where our president, who is still our president, at least apparently for the next 14 days or so, is a reality TV star. I ain't gonna lie, we've compared it to President Camacho. It's not quite President Camacho. You need a little bit of a deeper tan for that. Oh, I did it again.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔의 여유를
My apologies to all individuals that have more melanin than myself. It's true.
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?
Yes.
All right. So, to meme ourselves out of oblivion, again, touched upon this with a few other people. Why are we promoting things? Why do people seem to be willing to die for certain causes? Well, it gives them meaning. And as an individual that's listened to half of Professor Peterson's first book, Maps of Meaning, what the heck does it all mean? I have no idea, but the best I can gather is essentially we all have something that's important to us. All have something, a particular core to us. Some may call it an identity. It's who we are. It's what's important to us. And as we all know,
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
as I'm totally not going to get copyright struck for abusing all that, it's all right. It was a beautiful movie. Now, here's the thing. Choice is important. You need to be honest with people. I hear UBI go around. That seems to be popular. Why? You're giving people money. All I know is, in times like this, having a little bit of a safety net probably would help a lot of people out, because after a lot of arguing, people got like $600. Yay! Yay! Even though if you divide $900 billion into this, yeah, I get it. Omnibus. These things happen. We haven't had a budget in like years. We can just keep on punting the can and everything. This is where we need responsibility. As far as the responsibility goes, I've totally been shirking on that. I know we can do better. But if we're honest with each other, guess what? Social media sites, they're making, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, $40 a month off of our information, off of our metadata, because somewhere in that like 100-something page contract, it's like, yes, we has all the rights, we has all your data, we has all the rights, we has all the data, you essentially has no rights. Okay, that's wonderful there, but why can't it be like 10 pages, or at least kind of like some of the old credit card things where it was long, but you could kind of at least read it? Yes, this is because lawyers. My dad was a lawyer. He is a lawyer. But you got to pay all these taxes and stuff. So he's retired. But the thing is, yeah, people don't want to get sued. Why is that? Because we have laws. And again, I always ask, so many of these situations seem to come up. Why are these laws still on the books? Why don't we simplify them? Maybe there are very great reasons. Maybe there are a lot of pressures. Maybe there's no real incentive there. What I'm saying is we need incentives. I think we should have legislation, again, in my opinion. If you're going to do something drastic, there should be a quote-unquote hypothetical seppuku. My apologies to the people of Japan and all Japanese folks. Again, basically a provision that says you pass this legislation, that's totally fine. Anybody that passes this legislation cannot run for re-election the upcoming time. You got to be able to forfeit your power. Why? Because if it's so important to the people, if you need to do something so drastic, you should be willing to sacrifice your career. Because we all know no political figure has ever had a career after they finish politics. What I'm saying is we should give people the choice to opt into programs. If it's your data, it should be your choice. If you have the right to bodily autonomy, I suggest you have the right to digital autonomy. It's your information. You should be able to profit. What's fair? Off the cuff, at least half. I like this at least 60-40 share. That's the thing. You opt in. If you want to give more data, heck, let them compensate you more and everything. If just like me before the stream, if you want to watch all my wacky porn and stuff with me, by all means, join me. Take my data and chill. That you wonder why I hang out with a lot of folks from the greater porn community. It's all right. We all have our problems. Even the president has acknowledged him. Now, with everything else going on, and now that I've wasted my time, by wasting my time, I mean, I love you all. I should have been on a run an hour ago. This is why pornography takes up a great amount of time. Hopefully Orbs didn't get back to me, because I might have a stream in time that I won't be finished my run. Now, for everybody that's still with us, and people that may watch this in the future, This has been a little mimetic rant here. You know what? Times are tough, but there's one thing I've learned in my life. It's hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys too. Thank you, Razor Ramon. Peace out, everybody. Be safe. And long live the elbow bump and these United States of America.
Are we memeing ourselves into oblivion?